had a really good experience the first time I went to my GP when I was 15 about depression. She couldn't have been more helpful and knew exactly where to direct me for help and seemed to understand. When I started to experience depression again when I was at university, I went to the GP to speak to them about it. The GP there spent 5 minutes listening to me and my concerns, describing how I was suffering from depression again and that I knew the signs and symptoms because I'd experienced it before. After this, the GP sat back, looked at me and said, "You've got clean hair, you're wearing clean clothes, I really don't think you are depressed."
And it was a male nurse, and he said, "What have you done?" And I said, "I burnt my hand with a kettle." And he never asked me, "How did it happen? Did you do it yourself? Was it an accident?" He just looked at it and says, "Right, we need to cut all this dead skin off and dress your hand." And that was my cry for help. I wanted him to ask me, "Why are you doing this to yourself?" And he never did. I'd done that 3 times in the space of a week. So that was 3 times at the same E&E department, and not once did one person say, it was as if they weren't interested, as if they thought if they asked me it was going to take too much time up, they had other things to be doing, like I was a drain on their resources because I was doing it to myself. It was just a case of patch them up, send them home.
So I went to see the GP and she just seemed so completely dismissive. She said that she wasn't going to submit a referral to CAMHS unless I gave her a specific reason as to why. So I tried to tell her that I was struggling with my mental health, but my mum was there and she didn't actually know how serious it was. So I told her, I sort of panicked and said, "I think I'm depressed." And the GP said, "Well, I'm not so sure about that. I'll submit the CAMHS referral, but I think you just need to smile more." And that just kind of broke me. I broke down into tears in front of her because it may have seemed like a trivial thing, but that was the first time I'd spoke to anyone about the way I'd felt for months, and I thought that would sort of change things. She'd been really supportive in the past, so to have her say that, it really did hurt. And then I would have to explain to my mum later that I felt depressed and why.
There's a few times obviously that I ended up in hospital through self-harming or overdosing and things like that, and I was just treated very unfairly. One particular incident was I had went in because I needed severe cuts and they needed stitching. I was getting treated like I was a child, and the nurse went away and then the doctor came and he started stitching my arm, but there was no anaesthetic being put in, so it was painful. And I tried to say that to them, that there was no numbing in that area, and he just told me to be quiet. There is numbing cream, the nurse said, and has noted that she's done it, and you're just being a child, just sit down and be quiet and let me stitch your arm so you can get out of here, because there is people that are genuinely sick and you people like you are coming in and wasting our time.